Okay.
Oh, how are you?
Tired, but I'm good. Yeah, how are you?
Uh,
You still waking up?
yeah, it's beautiful day out there. It's like,
Mhm.
spring and everything is lush and it's sunny. So,
Yeah,
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 uh,
nice. Hmm.
it's good, but I'm not morning person. That's my thing, but that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. It's hard to get the timing because
No,
this
that's
time of
fine.
day for me, I'm pretty tired. I'm a little like rusty, and you're just waking up. But it's what we got.
That's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right. We'll
mm, yeah,
make it work.
yeah.
Um,
Mm.
so what I was thinking to start with, how do you feel this week, this last week since we have to tell we told we record a talk. It was lovely, it was beautiful, but then it turned out it was not recorded. So but we know what we talked about, and I think were really nice things, important things at this um time. So maybe as we go we remember. Recall it then.
Yeah,
But anyway, to
yeah.
start, how are you doing?
Uh-huh.
I listened one of yours, I think the last one, report,
Mhm.
and I think it's interesting what you have to say. So.
Oh, well, yeah, it was a really big week, and there were a lot of synchronicities that seemed to be illuminating that whole collapse, that collapse of what I was feeling as like the duality timeline, like a lot of repair and reunification from like a lot of the strange things that happened in Atlantis, and there were just a lot of synchronicities and things like I was saying in that reading. And then since then, I felt this huge, I don't know if you felt this in your own life, but I almost felt like the energy, like if something collapsed out, I almost felt like there was like a ripple that went through. Like I felt like everything shook.
Oh,
And then yeah, it was like, so I guess it was like Sunday, Monday, I felt the shake, and it presented in my hologram through my town, something that happened in my town where everybody was, it was like the beehive got disturbed, and then it was like all of a sudden it was like next chapter. That's what my daughter said. It seemed like we start the next chapter in the book. So I don't know. Did you feel something like that?
not to this extent this week, but yes, in a weeks before, like
Okay.
gradually. But then there was a week, maybe just yeah, just not this week, but the week before, where I could say I felt something similar. But also,
Mm.
what I felt is, if I would wake up in the morning in a bad mood, or in old stories or this or that, I really become aware of capacity and possibility to shift it by myself. So
Yeah.
before I wake up, you have a bad dream and you still wake up in that, but it's your choice. Now you are awake, and it's your choice what you do with it. So
Yeah.
could be something so as distinguished as yours, as your story. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And I mentioned that in that reading too, like the neural pathways that used to fire and you would just immediately act on them. You didn't even notice them. And then it's like you notice them and then you're like, wait, no, I don't need to do that. Like today I was saying to my daughter, I was like, I feel like I just had this moment where I was like, I feel depressed and sad and worried about money, but I'm laughing because I know that's just a program. I know that I don't ever have to worry about money. I know that we create from our mindset, and so many times, I've had periods of ebb and flow in my life around like abundance, and it always comes around. So I know that that's just a program and a story. So I just like watched it be there, but it didn't take me,
yeah,
and I thought this is one of those times where I felt the neural pathway fire, but then it just like unfired. It just collapsed.
yeah,
So I think we're seeing that, all
yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very easy, and it's not like it's fake. It feels genuine now. Like if you make decision, like in my case, in the morning, where you want to go, I found myself next thing I'm dancing around here, and it's genuine. It's embodied. It's in my body. It's real. Uh,
Yeah.
and also another thing that also come with age, and I'm aware of that. But it's in past few weeks, it's getting really um, obvious for me. I'm not ready to um, compromise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really honest with myself what it is that I like, what it is that I allow to my life, what I approve, if there is conversation where I don't want to go. And maybe even I will not say it loud, but
Mm-hmm.
I learn to really preserve my energy at this
Yeah.
point. I think it's really important. And I think those are all things we learn as we do this passage into this new, whatever it is, we can call it new earth or 5D, or those are all the ways of living there, or
Yeah.
I call it here, because we were
Yeah.
not taught those ways in our
Yeah.
childhood. We
Mhm.
create them now. We are introduced to them now.
Yeah.
Like who you are as an inhabitant of the new earth. Like
Yes.
how, who is that me? Like, but really embodied, like not some fluffy bubble somewhere, but really. Um, and I found it really enjoyable because when you're younger, you have so much energy. I was always, just giving it away, giving it away, giving. But now,
Yeah.
and I feel joy in that.
Yeah. Me
Like
too.
preserving my and being living in my belly, because in the belly you can feel it. Like joy is in belly, it's in heart, but then it's embodied in your belly. Like that's where it's real, it's grounded. That's what I
Yeah.
found.
And that empowerment too. I think it's our solar centers that anchor ourselves. They anchor our soul. And I have been discovering, for myself included, there's a lot of like solar upgrades going on that a lot of us are having, where just purges through just exactly what you're talking about. And and somebody that I was talking to, she said it so beautifully, because she's working on the same thing, just having boundaries, and just not like giving so much of herself and all that. And she said it's kind of cool. It's like embodying a different archetype of
Mhm.
herself, embodying, like integrating more aspects, more archetypes of ourselves, because we have access to all the archetypes, all of them. It's like the tarot cards. They embody all the different
Yeah.
archetypes, and as humans, we have access to all of them. But it's like some of them, like for me, that like that kind of like Queen of Swords, like, no moss, like what you're talking about, those boundaries. I didn't really have that. And so to be developing that, it's like I'm experiencing a whole new version of life, and of expression. So it feels good and it feels empowering. And the other thing that you said that really hit me was it's like we're creating the new earth. And those of us that came here to lead the way and to anchor that new earth, it's like the blueprint of it is we're encoded with it. So it's like we're fine. We weren't taught how to do it, but we're finding it within us.
Yes.
We're finding how to do it. And it's like that map. It's like we all have the same map, so like you and me and her and whoever else that are just enjoying this boundary, and like, oh, I need to conserve my energy so I'm not leaking.
Yes.
Because we're not leaking, we become that God fractal, and our energy has our own circuitry, and then we can magnetize what we need in for our path. And it's like we're starting to understand how to walk and live this new earth. But I think what is so cool is that we're all finding the same things, because we have that map inside of us.
Yeah.
And I think it opens up as we do the clearing, and as the solar energies and the cosmic energies come in through through all the ways that they're coming in. It's almost like it's like lighting up that map inside of us. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Memory, it's just there, like a file. you slowly open and just, go first like a book, you just go fast. You just go like to see, like you open it here and there and just, quick. And then if book is good, then you take it and you go slowly page by page. And I think what we're doing now, we all have experiences before
Mhm.
of synchronicities and this and that, but this was kind of fast going through to see what's about to remember first stage. And now I think it's slower,
Mhm.
steady. It's more like, all right, this is it. Deeper, deeper. That's what we did
Right.
last time. For me,
Yeah.
everything it's deeper. And I'm one of the most, it feels deeper. Day has more meaning. I do what I like, the things I enjoy. Um, for instance, mystical poetry. I love Rumi. I love Hafiz. I love
Mm.
many of them, but Rumi, for some reason, is my favorite. I just, something about him. And I used to listen it a lot, and then now we are on a road, and it was more about nature and other stuff. So I did not listen it for maybe a lot, for maybe a year, couple of years. But then the other day, I rediscovered it, the same stuff that I was listening before, because I love to listen it because there are beautiful people that are reading it out, and there is beautiful music behind, and I can just close my eyes and really travel into words, into music, into, and it's just like, this is it. This is peak. This beauty. I don't, could you feel that love? Like, and this is the deepest that I can experience right now. And I thought I got this before. I know what it is. It's just,
Yeah.
it's deeper now, that it's thicker, more intense. And this is how I start my days now. I do what I have to do in the morning, and I just put Rumi on, and just, I put my essential oils, I do my structure water, stuff I do, but there is Rumi. And in the morning, I need to anchor. I need to get into the core of that more quality being. I can't fly around, like fly without head, like crazy something around the world anymore. If it's needed, I would possibly, but it's just not of something of my interest anymore. And I love that. That's what I worked for so many years. That's what I wanted. It was not big houses. It was not, it was that something, the quality of life, like the feeling that I'm in the experience, not outside, like just being a observer, or that I can travel into music when I hear piano or violin, that I can go in and really experience it with my body. The poetry that really gets me, what he's saying, the beauty of the words, that. And I think that's also what New Earth it's all about. It's yes, there are boundaries, but on the other side, the
Yeah.
those unhealthy boundaries, they're
Yeah.
taken away.
Yeah.
So it's just you and object you have. I think relationships are really important.
Yeah.
It's one of the main things on a new earth, with whatever it is, another human being, tree, elemental, stone, water, you know, animals, very important.
Yes.
That one-on-one close relationship where you
Yeah.
look into, when they say in Avatar, I see you, that
Yeah.
I think we are seasoning it that, and I love it. That's just um
Yeah.
yeah, something.
Like a merging, and I think there's a real embodiment that's been going on. Like we're embodying our souls. We're not just running around in the program, and like we're saying, running around to do the thing. We're not unconscious anymore. And like what you were talking about, those routines in the morning, and living our lives in a conscious way. So like I go out every morning in my bare feet, and I sun gaze, and I watch the sun come up, and I sit with my trees. And like before this reading, I had some time to kill, and I had kind of a busy day, and I just went and sat outside under my trees on the ground, and I appreciated the grass, and I heard the birds, and I just felt so full. It's like it filled me up, and I came back into my body. I became embodied. And I think so much of our world right now, in contrast to the new earth that's birthing, is taking us out of our bodies and out of the earth and into the screens, and into this sort of like a fragmented reality. And it feels so important to anchor into the earth. And so, in the mornings, I had this habit of waking up and looking on my phone, because like you, I'm not a morning person either. Like, it's hard for me to get out of bed, and I would look at my phone, and I'd be reading like inspirational things, and it would be like kind like good energy, but it was my phone. And I thought, like, no more of this. Like, I'm not getting on my phone until after I greet the day, greet the earth, greet the sun, and greet my body, like meditate and come back in my body. And yeah, so just being really conscious of that, because so many of the things that have been habituated are just so unhealthy. And that's another thing with the map. It's like, I think a lot of us are realizing, just all the little rituals and all the ways we can stay really connected and manage our energy, by staying grounded, or by having boundaries against toxic energy, and all that, and just staying connected to the actual new earth.
Yes.
Because it's all around us. Yeah. And just to hone in on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another important thing, awareness that this earth, it is happening without us. Everything is in contrast. Like, it's hard to, like, yes, boundaries, and then no boundaries. Yes, healthy boundaries, no unhealthy boundaries. Like, but then here also, the new earth, it will happen without us. That's not. But on the other side, we are co-creators. You need to, not in a harsh way, you need to earn your place here. First, with matching, with your thinking, you can't enter if you have harm thoughts in your heart. You just can't. Somebody makes it perfect for, protect the its baby now. So you earn it with being aware who you are, and being aware how creation is important. We are co-creating it. As I sit here, we are doing it together. And it's like we are on a brand new the thing that painters are painting on. You have brand new white canvas.
Yeah, yeah.
Something full of, that's fine. Canvas. And here are all the colors you need. Brushes, the big brush, the little delicate brush, the colors of the nature, all the colors you can imagine. And you have that tool in your head, which is called your brain, which is beautiful, beautiful piece of equipment. It's camera. It's screen. You can zoom it out. It can record sounds. It can imagine. It can draw. It can paint. It can whatever. It's just such an equipment. And that's the tool, one of the tools for our co-creation. And then you have body, you move, maybe you like to move, you dance, you create with your hands. You are like sculpture. I dance a lot, like I would do conscious dance, and there would be that movement. I would always creating sphere, like kind of Tai Chi manner. And I do, this is sphere like egg.
Yeah.
I put my dreams into this sphere. And then I nurture it. I feed it. Every day I go and see how it works. Do I need more detail? And sometimes those visions or visualizations are more like rough, and then there are details you go in. And that's enjoyment. Artists should enjoy when he does his art. It's not, it is about goal. We all want goal. Let's not pretend we don't want that. Like, oh, it's not just about journey. It's not. It's about destination too, right? We want to go there. That's our motivation. So, but just enjoy the process of art. And everyone have, even if life is busy. I understand that. And it's process to get there, to get yourself certain freedom, to have time for that, and not to you don't need to wake up in the morning and rush to work and traffic and all of that. But half a day before bed,
Mhm.
and you will fall in love with that process. And then you
Mhm.
just grow it and watch your life change slowly. Maybe for me it's process, it takes time. Maybe for someone's life, you know.
Mhm.
And I think that dreaming, let's put it dreaming is part of this, is how we do things on your earth. That just,
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's interesting because I read tarot for people, and so there was a woman today who she wanted to move, and she felt called to move to actually the town that I'm in, and she's lived here before, and but the work wasn't flowing, and and I could tell that she was too in her head about it. She was worried. She was worried about money. She was worried about survival. She was worried, and so she was clogging up the field. And I just pulled some cards for her, and it was early in the morning, and I but I was just kind of helping her out, and but it was so interesting because the cards were so specific. It's like, I saw it through the cards, but basically it was advising her to just like dream about what she wanted, to just literally sit. And so when I was advising her, I was like, this is a no head. Like, you're not allowed to be practical. You're not allowed to, think about anything in a linear way. You literally just need to sit there and daydream. Like, if you could have anything that you wanted, what would you want? And to think about it to the point where you get high off of that energy, like what you're saying, that enjoyment. And so it's very much exactly what you're talking about, just that bubble, that visioning board. And I was feeling it for her because I know that energy where you just, and so that's something that's been coming up a lot, like even for me before this video, where I felt a little tired and a little contracted. And so it's like we can always manage our energy in that way. Like for her, for example, feeling too in your head or too worried, it's like, well, the best thing to do then is to go do something that brings you into your own embodiment and brings you into your own soul joy. And it's like at this point in the game, I feel like we do fall in and out of, we fall out of the new earth because we're tired, or we're still kind of clearing some stuff. And sometimes in the clearing, some of those old patterns can go, but it's like the hack is to just do something we love. Like sometimes I can be so tired. Okay, so last night I was really tired, and I was just, I had to like make dinner, and I had to like do all these sort of like things, even though my body was tired. And I was laying on the couch, and I started communing with a soul sister of mine, and we started talking about New Earth, and then I got really excited, and I made all these connections, and I was like, oh, I wasn't tired. I just needed to feed myself energy that energizes me, So again, like being aware of like, okay, I'm running old energy. I need to put on some music and dance, or I need to go sit with the trees, or I need to just daydream, or like if we want something and it's not working, to come back into that juicy center where it's just because it's all just a reflection of our own alignment, to tend to our alignment seems to be the name of the game at this point. And then it becomes easier because we're just magnetizing, and then we're co-creating, and then we're flowing. But I do feel for most people we're kind of on the brink of learning how to do this,
yes.
learning how. And I think people like us, like the architects, we're anchoring the template, and we're coded with it. It's like we're unpacking it, we're figuring out how to do it, and then we're talking about it a lot,
Yeah.
as guys, right? And examples, and
Because it's
because that
exciting,
old,
because we feel joy about it. That's why we like to talk about it, because it's
yeah, yeah,
and
it's
it's
like,
so
what?
fresh. It's like when you get new toy, like kids, of course you are excited about it and you love to show it to everyone. It's very normal. It's and then when you realize it works, we all have experiences. I think what happened now, like maybe that has to do with the big shift you felt. It's like so many of us for years we were in and out, mostly out, a little bit in, like little reference point. But now it seems like we mature. Yes, all right, this is real. And I like this way more than, the other one, than the old one. I like it more. So kind of we move because we trust so much. And we look into the old world, and there is wars, and there is and it's just like, whoa, what's this? I'm sick and tired. I don't want this game anymore. This is getting boring. This is ugly. This is harmful. This hurts. Me,
Yeah.
it's just like it does not work for anyone. And then you just, I think we just now gathered enough confidence and knowledge that this is real, that
Yeah.
more and more of us going, yeah, okay, I trust this, I go this way. Ha, all right.
And there's that boundary again where it's like, I don't want that. So I'm not going to put my energy. And we understand enough what we put our energy and our focus on, we bring more of to us. So we're like, well, I don't want more of that. We're understanding how to play the game. And I think what we were talking about last time when that video got cut off was, I think something that was coming up was that choice. The choice where it's like we do. I think part of how we make this shift is like we become conscious enough to choose it,
Yeah.
but yet we have to choose it because we're building new neural pathways. So if we don't consciously look at it and say, I choose this and not this, then we're playing out the old, right? So there's the choice. And I was thinking about
This is
something.
for you. If you
Go
don't
ahead.
choose something, sorry to interrupt, but something
No.
chooses for you. If you don't choose
Yes.
something,
Yes. So
you did not show up, hold your ground, you did not be explicit what's you standing for, something will take you
yep.
and will make choice
Yep.
for you. And before you know it,
Yeah,
you'll be in a programming for somebody else. You're playing someone else's movie rather than
exactly.
yours. Sorry.
Exactly. And so that it's like boundaries. It's like we're creating something here. Like we have the boundaries, but then the boundaries we have to choose. And so, like for example, there was this interesting thing. So I've been taking these. Okay, so the drops that I was talking about last time, they're bio resonance drops for parasite cleanse and detox. So they're flower essences, they're frequencies, and it works on a really deep level because it kicks up the emotional patterns that allow parasites in or that attach to toxins rather than letting them release. And so now I'm doing one for EMF shielding. And I'm not aware of like, I don't have like, I'm not aware that I have like a strong reaction to EMFs, but I just felt to do it. So I had this dream, and in the dream, there was this sort of like strange dark magician type of man. He looked like a homeless man, but I was trying to walk in the dream and I couldn't walk. It's like I was walking through quicksand, but I knew it was some bad medicine that he was throwing at me. And I was cursing because I couldn't get out of its effect. And so I woke up and I had been on this remedy for maybe a week. And I woke up and my room felt weird. And I was like, well, it's not an entity, it's not a demon, I don't really need to clear the room. But immediately I knew, oh, that is the representation of the frequency of the EMF, of the nanotechnology, of the disturbing frequencies that are overlaying the harmonics of this planet. And so what I heard then was, you can bring it down. And I knew that it was a shield because I'm taking this EMF shield. And it's like I took the remedy. I thought, oh, the remedy's going to give me the shield and then I won't have to worry about it. But it was no. The remedy helped me to see that I had the power to choose to bring down the shield. So I brought it down and I saw it around me. And what I realized is that we're all affected by this, whether we feel it or we get headaches or not, or we're just completely oblivious. It's like what Sam talks about with the pyramid in Bosnia. You go underneath it and you're completely free of all these frequencies, and all of a sudden you heal because your body's not being interfered with. So it's like we're all being affected. But so anyway, long story, but the point being that choice, when we become aware of something we don't want, we have the power to say no to anything. Because in my dream, I felt powerless, where I was like, oh, or even like in the world, we can feel powerless. Oh my God, the cell towers are everywhere, and the 5G and the this and the that. And it's like, well, that's a victim consciousness, and we're co-creators. So I saw it in that night and on this remedy where it's like we just intend. I am immune. I am immune. I have an infinity sphere, and we just claim it. And once we choose it, and so I had this dream the other night, and then I was talking with a friend of mine today, and she was talking about how her and a girlfriend were in infrared sauna. And I think maybe they were in there, maybe you're naked because it's a sauna, but there were these men in there. And she said they had first they were like, oh, it's so nice, we're alone, it's just women, and then these men came in and they had a predatory energy to them. So my friend within herself, she created a shield. So there was a synchronicity because this I just had this dream. She created a shield around her. And then shortly after, the men left. And then she talked with her friend, and her friend said, I did the same thing. I created a shield around me. So it's just like the synchronicity, but also this proof that that sort of inner imaginal
Yeah.
creation is real and it has
It's
effects
real.
because
That's
it's
real.
so
It's
empowerment.
real.
It's real. It's real. And so that's the proof. Like I had that dream, and I was like, really, is that enough? And then I had that synchronicity with her, and she had the proof because they left and her friend did the same. So it's like we're just being guided. We're being guided, like use our imaginative powers, and to not feel powerless to anything, to not feel like a victim. If we become aware of something we don't want, there is some way to work it, either in the physical or in the energetic. And it's just so exciting.
Yeah.
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 Can you just remind me of some situation I witnessed recently on the main predatory energy, what we like to say. Not get me wrong, in many cases that's right, and there is a man that just want. It's not really to our team, but for some reason I need to tell it now.
Okay.
So where I coming from for Balkans, men really love women. They are very masculine, and they just love women, and they just love to look, and they would not do harm, but maybe they would even whistle still on the street, and they just love beautiful women. They can't help themselves. Like it's and I witnessed situation last time when we were back home where that was really easily the label was put on predatory.
Okay.
And I think I just have to, it has nothing to do with your story, all right? Because there are predatory men out there, there is predatory energy, there is harmful, but I just want to, like, all this paradigm that some connected with depopulation or this or that and gender, this mixed up, whatever it is. I think this is part of it too. It's judging badly, it's saying it's toxicity, man energy, which in many cases it's not. It's just healthy man response. Men just love beautiful women. That's what's about. This is what takes the species further. Nothing is wrong with it.
Yeah.
And if there is a game from both sides, like also ladies, we need to take responsibility. If we like it, this side feels you like it, it will play more. It's just a play. It's natural play, divine play, I would say. Now, how much taste and beauty you bring in it, and innocent also. I don't do that anymore, but I love to flirt when I was younger. I love it. Just doing this. I'm not. I'm the different stage of life, but it's beautiful. And these days, ladies so quickly put a label, predatory. He just likes you. Yeah, maybe he won't marry you, but it's just a game. You don't need to go to, to do a thing with him, but it's just so that was on my heart for some time. I was thinking about, but this is opportunity to put it out. So yeah.
Yeah. No, because it is. I understand, because it's like the nature of the polarities is like, the feminine energy is magnetic, and she pulls and it's just how the energies go. So like, I actually, like, for example, when I was in India, no man would look at me. None of them. They wouldn't even acknowledge me. I felt completely invisible. It was just part of their culture. And it was offensive to me because it's like, well, that just feels so unnatural, whereas in Italy, they're all like, hello,
That's it. Like, that would mean all Italians are predatory. They are not. They love their mama's pasta. Like, no, that's not predatory.
you're in a restaurant and they're serving you food and they're out there. Do you like it? Do you like it? And you're like, yes, thank you for caring, whatever. But, I noticed with my daughter, like she's very beautiful. And so, men look at her all the time. And it's like, there are some men that I'm like, yeah, she's beautiful, isn't she? And it's just like, she's a flower and they're appreciating her. But some men will stare and stare and she'll feel uncomfortable. And then she wants to like hide, I've had to say to certain men, like, she's 17, like, you're staring too much, and so there is a predatory
Absolutely
element. Some men are intrusive, but those men that just like can't help looking, it's like, of course, and so yeah, and I think it's like there's yes, there it's like an energetic thing. When the energy is off, then it's off, but it's not this black and white. We're going to label everything,
yes,
right? That's where the hijack comes in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Balance and recognize what is what is just like, as you would look into beautiful tree or flower, or there is a human being. It's even I like to see beautiful woman. I look.
Me too.
She's
I can't stop looking.
Yeah, beautiful hair. She's beautiful. There's something about this certain grace, and I have zero attraction to women. It's not about that. It's not. It's just beautiful. You recognize, because God gives, or whoever creates it, something beautiful. So yeah, but on the other side, that's that.
Exactly. And I think that's part of the new earth energy as well, where we're not living from our minds or from concepts or from trends or from programming around, things that actually separate us from, reading the energy and being in the flow of life, where we're living. Yeah, we're living from our intuition, and we're living by reading energy, not the scripts that other people give us. Like, here's the trendy thing you're supposed to think right now, and if you do something different, then you're wrong, and it's just like all those hijacks that are out there. And I think a lot of us are remembering the proper balance of the polarities and what that looks like. I think we're encoded with that understanding as well.
Yes.
So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes. Like in the middle, like, and that's again what in your case, what ladies did with the shield, the story you were telling, is just, again, I don't want to compromise anymore. This does not feel right. Here is a shield. I'm not, and I love this. It's not like sitting in that for another hour and just be it's your time. It's sauna. You don't want this. This is sauna. The culture of sauna, the ethical, from where I come in Korea, is very common. We have saunas it's not like Finland, but a lot we would go to sauna. And we have those spas and the thermal waters a lot, where there is big complex, like 20 saunas in one, different types. And great majority of people is very aware. It's not about that. It's not you. It's basic sauna culture. You don't go there to stare into someone. You go to be with yourself. Same thing. You don't go there and chat. Some people do, but then that's not sauna. Traditionally, you go there. All right, if you go with a group of friends and you feel like you want to chat, that's different. But mostly because your body gets into the healing mood, into the detoxing, you focus in, and it's not just body fluids and It's your mind, it's your soul, everything. For me, I can't chat in sauna. I need my, I need my space.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, it's just it's basic common sense. It's like that basic inner ethical culture, like basic, very simple in a way. Yes.
Yeah.
You see that they turn situation in a sauna, which could be situation that does not, which could be the part of old world, they shield and they create new world sauna.
Yeah.
And if men would be decent, they would be part of it too.
Well, that's what she said. After that, those men left. So this is interesting. They did create a new world because they put up their shield. They said, no, I don't want that hologram. Those men left. And then this other man came in, and he was completely with himself. And he was just, he just had intact energy, and it was just like perfectly fine. So it's like, then they got a different, it's like telling the universe, like, no, I don't want, like well done steak. I want, whatever it is, like you're ordering at a restaurant, right? I want this, and then the universe says okay and brings that instead. I think it's that literal.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think we had talked about this before too, where this might have been where our phones glitched. Like maybe we should intend for a moment to like have protection, because
Yeah,
for
I do
anybody,
that every morning now. Every evening before first thing, I protect.
just
That's
protect the,
again, that's boundary because
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
one
exactly.
sentence before you continue. Please keep the thought. But I found people that are not deciding just yet to follow that kind of reality because this world already is suffering so much. They're getting bitchy more and more. Sorry to use this word, but it's and it's I hear because I'm moving kind of when I'm out there with people a lot. I hear a lot of harsh words. People are really easy to offend others, and because they're unhappy, because they're just unhappy, unsettled. So they put it out there, and it's really important to protect yourself of that because you're still
Yeah.
moving through that, and
Yes.
it's just like there is no need to. If somebody said something bad that it hurts you, it's that no need anymore. There is no, you protect yourself. So
Yeah.
same as
Yep.
your sauna lady situation, like you know, and it's
Yeah.
important to I think to shield what you said.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, and I was gonna say this in the beginning, and then I forgot. But like for anybody that's listening, the last reading that we did, we were glitching. We
Yeah,
were glitching, and then we lost the whole recording. We lost the whole recording, and she was like, "Oh well, let's pull a card and see what that was about." And I got the devil card. So, just that interference. So I was like, I think when two people connect like this, we do kind of open portals into new earth, and so just like taking a moment to just like, okay, let's just protect this space that we're
yes,
creating right now, so it's preserved and all that. And I think it's that simple, just to remember and to say it. That's it.
yes.
It's that easy.
For
But I
me,
think
it was we had troubles with recording, and I always check 2 times, 3 times, again and again if I record. But and I remember I pressed recording when we started, and then it was not there, and then
yeah,
glitches and da da da. But then you pull that card, and I just thought, all right, that guy, I just don't want to play with you. It's just not. It was just like he's not even. He's not in power. He's just some little interruption. I just don't felt like I should be scared of it. I should, yes,
mm-hmm.
it's not into, you know what? It's not interesting anymore, your game. And,
Yeah, and
and
we just dropped it. Like we didn't get upset about it or anything. We were like, all right, we'll do it again later. Like we didn't give it any power.
it was
And now,
not, usually I would regret, and it was really good
yeah,
talk, and we had such an energy, and it was
yeah,
just like beautiful stories come out, and I would regret. It was just like instant. No, we'll do
we
it.
just lost both
That's
of us, and
fine. There is
it
another
was,
day. It's all here. It does not go anywhere. We'll do it again.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Thank you. I'm not playing with you. Goodbye.
Playing with you. You have no power over me. You want to erase a video, and that's what we said too. Like everything that two people say between each other that is met on that quantum level ripples out into the ether, and
Yeah.
is received, whether people listen to it or not. Like we still co-created that day. So yeah, and just always taking that like higher heart interpretation. So we're never a victim of anything.
Yes. That's
Playing here and creating here. Yeah. Hmm.
another thing. Maybe I don't know how we are with time. We both. Um,
Yeah, I think we're close, but let's go a little
yes.
more.
But what we talked about last time, but maybe we'll keep that one because I think it's quite a topic.
Okay.
What we touched on last time, as I said before, I'm really not comfortable to talk about,
Mm.
especially public, about certain stuff that are um, I don't know, things like starseed
Mhm.
or UFO, or even though I'm into pyramids, as I said last time, like earthen pyramid in Serbia, there are two tools. Like one, it's energy of earthen, it's healing, it's, portal into other dimensions. But then this other stream of thought, which talk about um, um extraterrestrial being present at all times. Then on the top, we witness it. Maybe I think Manu will put the picture here. Like those circle clouds will be formed, and that's what local says. This is where the ship would come, and they do their thing, whatever they do, and people had that. That's the guy showed us, the local herbal man. He showed us. He recorded like light coming and da da da. And then there are, it's very. And then there are very often appearing. Everybody know that in local area, like those balls of light coming from the top.
Mm.
And I'm just really not comfortable for some reason to talk about that. And stargates and da da da. This is just not. But what happened like 10 days ago? I really, really liked his Dark Materials and Golden. It started for me with Golden Compass movie when I discovered books, and then
Oh,
Lyra,
yeah.
right?
Yes. I didn't realize that was Golden Compass. Okay. Now the story is even broader for me. Yeah. Got
So,
it.
and my surname is Siever, which means north. Tara means star.
Mm. Oh, wow.
So
Mhm.
anyway, the his Dark Materials is just it's and that girl Lyra. I even bought myself a coat in Sarajevo, which is I dream of it, and then I found it in Sarajevo in the markets in old town, like made of proper sheep wool. Um, and I bought myself coat, the one she had in a series, and that Lyra just stayed with me and her
Yeah.
character. And
That's
I
what's going
fell
on.
in love with polar bears. I connect the lady that dreams of with polar bears for years. We will talk soon. And it was just something, and northern lights and all of that. And now time passes, it's almost 2 years since I watched it, but it's Lyra, Lyra, Lyra. And then one day, as I said, I'm really not into star seeds and stuff. I used to be, I'm not, you know. And one day I just got to Google Lyra star seed, not knowing any, and I figure it's a real thing. And I had that dream for years that I'm looking for home. I go to
Mhm.
Europe,
Mhm.
I can't return because flights are canceled, because I run out of money. I just can't return home to Australia. Or I was looking for rental and I could find it or buy the play over there. But rentals was there was no rentals, and I would end up in some shitty room. For years I'm dreaming that. And then it occurred to me. And then I went to see the history, what says about Lyra, and it was apparently a planet, which was there was a war with Draco, and the planet blew up. And I read that and just everything falls into place. I understood myself on a deeper level. It's not, I was never homeless. I never, there was no threat that I would not having home in this life. I
Yeah.
thought, this is soul. I need to embrace it. This part
Yes.
of me. There is
Yeah.
no, and then I went to, that was evening, and in the morning I woke up, I would still be, oh, I'm not, this is too new agey for me. I'm not, I like to stay grounded, but I'll give it a chance because it so resonates with me. And I said,
Yeah.
all right, I bought this deck of cards. If this is real, please put it as out as direct as you can. That I won't be able to say, no, this is not real. Please confirm. And Manu will put the card on the screen when he will edit. So I pull up the card with Lyra. Lyra. I showed you. You know what it is. The Lyra instrument in it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things like that just keep going pop up. So I realized if I want to enter this new earth, I need to expand.
Mm.
And
That.
pyramids
Yeah.
if I'm in approval or not, if I like it or not, it doesn't matter. They are about extraterrestrial. They are. They might be time portals there, timelines or da da da. There's something happening in there, and you can't enter without saying, this is not, I don't want that, this is not real for me, I want to be grounded, common sense girl. No, this is part of the story. And
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because the boundaries again of like no, it's like we're saying no to that which is small and that which keeps us trapped. But we're saying yes, there might be things like that that are expansive and that might seem a little out there, but it's like we're being urged to say yes to those because we are only saying yes, no to things that we've outgrown, not things that we're uncomfortable with, right? So as we grow and expand, then we can embrace more that's coming. And I think the thing with like, if we think of it as extraterrestrials or ships out there, it's a perception through the eyes of separation where it's like something other than me. But what you did is you realized I am that.
yes.
And I had a very similar experience with Sirius where it was a while ago, but like you, it started with a movie and there were all these synchronicities. And then finally I realized it just dawned on me as like, that's me. I know this frequency, and it just presented itself to me from every angle until it got inside and I remembered. And so now it's like when we talk about the pyramids coming from, the galactics or from, outer space, it's like that was us. That was us. And that's what we saw in that reading about the Bosnian pyramid that I did a while ago when we first met, which was, we planted these, we created these transmitters and everything we can say about pyramids in the earth grid to sustain the frequency on this planet, and so it's like we did that. We did that, and now we're back and we're helping to activate them just by being on the planet and interacting with them so that we can bring that harmonic back online as we come into this golden age. So that's what's so cool is like when we see something as separate from us, we can kind of reject it. But when we realize we are that, and there's that holding that's going on for part of the new earth, it's like we're realizing that we are all. Yeah. Like what we were saying about the archetypes in the beginning, we're all those archetypes.
Yes.
We can explore, and it might not be time yet, but eventually, throughout our soul's journey, we're going to explore all the archetypes. We're going to be the bad guy. We're going to be the savior. Like what we were saying, the opposites. We're going to be the perpetrator. We're going to be the victim, and we're going to bring them all into wholeness, and we're going to embrace them all. And so, anyway, so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about I'll go around now like crazy religions talking about, UFO. It's not about that. It's much more intimate. It's about me. If I enjoy creating, co-creating with earth, with other people, in my opinion, Lyrans were creators. They were very skillful in create their environment. So if I want to step into next from preschool, or let's say I was in a kindy before and I am going my baby hoping to go to preschool, I need to remember that. I need to be in touch with that daily in the morning when I wake up. Now I would just sometimes just like I would listen Rumi and this and that. And Lyra is, I love poetry. I love it. It was the hardest of my times. It saved my life. There were times when I could only listen Rumi, like in the darkest night of the soul, that you hold that, there is that love. There is that love. It's a hope. There is love. And you just melt into that love, like where there is nothing else to lose, it seems. Like love, it's always there. Something catches it. You can feel anxiety, sad, this, that. There is love. If you go deepest into sadness, that's Sufism it's all about. They talk dark side of love. You go deep into sadness, like flute. Sufi flute sounds sad, right? Because it's separate from its bamboo tree. I mean, from its, source, home. But then, if you really allow yourself to go deep into that, say, what's there, you're left with the silence and love. And Ira is a symbol of poets.
Yeah.
Is it? so inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not about telling everyone, oh, there is, I saw you, this, that. No, it's about intimate process of embracing another archetype, as you beautifully say. It's just archetype.
And it's interesting because I see that, because I do energy work and I see in sessions a lot, after people do a lot of clearing, there will be an aspect. I'll see it, like if they're laying down, I'll see it up here, like on that level where like their blueprint is, or where their Akash is held or something. It's just that area. But what I've been seeing a lot in people are Lyrans, their Lyran aspects. And I think there's something about people receiving their Lyran aspect right now. And I think it also has something to do with, what we were talking about in the beginning. And I don't know if this made it into the video, into the recording, but about the sort of like collapsing of the duality timeline. So like the Lyran Draco Orion wars, the Jesus Mary Magdalene, where the grief and the sadness over the separation of the divine feminine and the masculine, or the genetic engineering in Atlantis, all the ways that we got separated. Those we're holding, so those timelines are collapsing. They're collapsing, and so as they're collapsing, we're getting our pieces back. And I think there must be something really key about the Lyran Orion war that really held a big like a lock, or like the trauma bond of that separation. I feel like that must have been really core to a lot of the distortions in our world, and because it seems like a lot of people are getting their Lyran aspects back. And so that's really interesting that that's happening right now. But also it seems like whenever somebody gets an aspect back, it's important for the next phase of their journey. So we were talking about the blank canvas, and you were talking so much about the creation with the canvas, and then the creation of the Lyran. So it's like, and now here we are in the brink of the new earth, and it's like, oh my God, we're going to create it. Like, we're getting our Lyran aspects back, and we're going to create, because we're not fragmented anymore. We're not fragmented. And it's interesting also because the Lyrans in sessions, they always appear as big cats. And so it's like, if you think about a cat, the cats are very independent, and they can be snuggly and they can be loving, but sometimes they're just assholes, and they just like do things you don't want them to do.
And sometimes it's needed. Just
yeah, exactly. So it's like that balance of those boundaries again, but also like the healing of the part of us that felt rejected, that just kind of was like, fine, then I'll just be on my own, I'll just do my own thing. I don't need anybody. Like what you were saying in the beginning, the relationship being so important, where it's like, again, we're like turning back.
Yes.
We're turning back, just like this huge, profound healing, and coming back together to create this realm after being really traumatized and fragmented. And so I love that. I think it's time to go, but I love that we ended on that.
Yeah. Maybe just last thought, as you mentioned, trauma. I think it's really important. Like for me, realizing, listening and reading about what happened to Lyra, and realizing why I would have those dreams, and I just always felt I'm not home here. I like, oh, what's this? This is not really my family, my everything. I just know, what's this? Where's my home? All that yearning. When I realized what happened to my original home, and there is not there anymore, I realized, all right, it's time to stop as a soul, to run away. I always run away. That's one of the reasons I'm in the bush in Australia. You refuge, you always look for refuge. Where is my home? You go refuge. And as a soul, we went to Sirius, we did that, but still looking for home. And when all right, it's not there anymore in this 3D form, I believe it's still there. I think original blueprint, it's still there in the Akashic somewhere, because everything is recorded. It must be there. I don't think it's dead end, but just acceptance. All right, in 3D, it's not there anymore. It's time for me to find another home. Maybe this is Earth. And then I turn to Gaia. Some call it Gaia, All right, will you accept me? I don't want to, colonize you. I want to work with you. I want to love you. I want to hear what you want. Do you, it was kind of in a process. Are you okay if we work together? Can I call you home with respect, with not attacking, colonizing, just taking it for granted? all right, this is my divine birth. I'm, I'm divine right. I was born here. Not that. That's just, and she was happy to say yes and to take me in and take me deeper into, it was always me. I felt separate. It was not her. But she would not
Yeah.
force on me, come in. This is your home now. For now.
Welcome. Yeah.
So
We
that's,
need you here. Yeah.
we love you
Yeah.
here. Like,
We need you. We called you here.
yes,
You said yes. We're together again, you know?
yes, yes. Let's
Yeah.
do it. And it's not separate. It's just, I don't know how this, is it planets or how this works? I don't know. I'm not that smart to understand. Is it, pancake, or is it, no, that's not my thing. But it's not out there. It's here. You can reach it through Akasha records, which I want to talk about. You water and Akashic records. That's something else I would like to
Okay.
do
Next
maybe
time.
next time. And maybe if you pull some cards
Yeah.
in there. But it's we have this beautiful mind and selves that we can reach out to see how Lyra looked like and bring
Hmm.
it here and co-create it here.
Yeah.
It will
Yeah.
happen
Yeah.
tomorrow, all of it,
Yeah.
but gradually we can rebuild.
Yeah.
This is opportunity. We start all over again to build our home.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So beautiful.
So
Okay. Well, my daughter's texting me now. Are you done? So
sorry, I just had to.
it's okay. I told her, I was like, text me when you really need something. So and I'm like, that'll be our like buzzer, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
All right.
okay.
Lovely to talk to you.
Yeah,
Um,
you too. Thank you for all your sharing, your deep sharing.
yeah, very same. It's so um, good to know. I think what you do, the readings, this is just the way we will live in New Earth. It's just the way we hang together and the way we if I give you access to my soul and you do your card reading, that's friendship in between us because you get to know me
Yeah,
and I get to
yeah,
know you. I get to trust you, and it's just cards maybe are just a tool to that relationship again, to trust, to get to trust, because I think the big one is to trust people, so,
yeah.
to trust each other. So that's
Hmm.
it. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you
Yeah, thank you.
for your sharing. We will share your links underneath.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. All right. We'll talk soon. Much love to you.
I
Okay. Bye.